Hello and welcome to another episode of Going Topicless. And oh boy, do we have a lot. A lot has happened in the last couple of weeks since we've done an episode. But first, introductions. I am your host, Devin, joined as always by my co host, Cameron. How are you doing today?
I'm doing bad because I'm having a lot of internet issues. So this will be an interesting episode, and I will probably just lag out, and you're probably just gonna be alone. So good luck, have fun.
Nothing new. I'm forever alone.
Hmm. Okay, starting off spicy. Got it.
Starting off strong this episode. Um, in recent news, I'm going back to work.
Going back to work.
Yes.
When is that to occur?
Um, I've been given a total of 15 days to basically sign back in to
Okay.
work. So, and that was I got the phone call like a week and a half ago, so probably like this weekend I'll start up again.
Right on. Right on. Are you having to like move, or are you gonna be stationed in the same area, or
Should be all the same. I'm pretty sure. I'll probably be back
nice?
on my 24/7 on-call type schedule.
Right on.
That'll be fun. So say goodbye to the glorious stream schedule that I had.
Yikes.
It's a big sad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would love
you're
to just
real
like live off EI and play games and stream forever, but I live in Vancouver, which is an expensive city, and 2 grand a
right,
month just doesn't cut it.
right. Yeah, it'd be like that.
Hmm.
I mean, um, speaking of real world, I am no longer potentially going back to my old job. Unfortunately, COVID-19 has won that battle, and I am now in the job market to find a new job because our doors are closing forever at the small business that I was employed through.
Big
So,
oof.
yeah, so that sucks, but you know, I did have a interview, or I had a phone interview yesterday. I got a follow up tomorrow, so
That's good.
fingers crossed. Hopefully that works out. And yeah, I don't know. It sucks. I mean, it's crazy that the world is just in shambles and nobody wants to fucking pick a side on what the hell we're supposed to do because it's political for some reason. So
Hmm.
politics has ruined the world once again, and for some reason, we as humans still haven't realized that we should stop letting a small minority rule the greater majority. But you know, it is what it is. It's just business. We just couldn't survive it. Um, Sucks, but I'll get through it. The world will move on, and yeah, I mean, I had to fucking dog sit for my brother-in-law and sister fucking like for 5 days last week, so I wasn't even home. So any opportunity to stream was out of the question. Um, then again, I say that I haven't even launched my stream since I finished SpongeBob, and that was 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna blame it on the fact that I wasn't home. Uh, New season of Diablo 3 started on Friday last week, and I think I've already put like 40 hours into that. So it's not like I haven't been playing video games, I just wasn't able to stream. And I don't know, I just haven't streamed, haven't had the energy or desire to. Um, I've just been fucking mindlessly playing Diablo for hours upon hours every day, and I'll probably get burnt out in about a week. So I haven't played any. Oh my god, why did I just yawn like that? Excuse me. Yeah, I haven't played anything new. That's not true. I have played something new in the last couple weeks, and the
Oh,
game
I'm
is
excited.
fun as fuck. The game's fun as fuck. Oh my god. It came out uh last month, maybe May. It came out in May, maybe. It's in early access right now on Steam. It's called Gunfire Reborn. It's a roguelite style game. It's super fun. It's kind of inspired by like Borderlands and Risk of Rain kind of
Hmm.
gameplay. So it's super fun. And the best part about it, it retails at like 12.99. It's super cheap and it's fun. Um, and it's in early access right now. And that's bald eagle dollars, not maple leafs. So I don't know what the conversion is there, but like 15.99 in Canada land maybe.
Something around that.
Um,
I think it's like 75 cents on the dollar for us.
yeah, that's how it is for women in the United States.
Oof.
Uh, yeah, it's one of those episodes. It's,
Oh boy.
the yeah, the game's super fun. I think I've played like 10 hours of it in the last couple weeks, which isn't a whole lot, but yeah, other than that, I got nothing going on. I'm like officially unemployed now.
Right.
Not just like temporarily unemployed. So that sucks.
Damn, I get my job
But
back and you lose your entire job. Feels bad.
yeah. It's whatever, man. I'll find something.
I'm honestly not surprised though, like with the whole economy taking a hit because
No.
of this COVID thing. It was
Yeah.
bound to happen that small businesses would kick the
Oh
bucket.
yeah. Yeah. Well, our big problem was our uh our we weren't really able to even like open up uh like our the style in which our small business was running was located inside of like a corporate area like office building.
Hmm.
So, everybody's still working from home. And when 95% of our clientele is office workers in the building that aren't in the building, we're not going to be able to be successful there. So, it
This was
is
a
what it is.
restaurant, correct?
Yeah.
Did y'all like consider Uber Eats or anything like that?
With our team size, it's just not really viable.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. It's just like two of us on staff, so
So
just
that's
with
like
like
at least with like small restaurants and stuff, that's pretty much the only way
yeah.
certain places have been able to stay afloat is just through online orders.
Yeah, for sure. We relied too much on internal customer base, which hindsight's 2020, but maybe had we started focusing on something like that a year ago, but
Hmm.
to try and build that outside customer base, but can't do anything about it now. Just the world will go on, and I'll find a new job and hate my
Uh-huh.
life in a different 9 to 5, I suppose.
Working 9 to 5.
Easy now. You only get like 5 seconds. Copyrights.
Fuck
DMCA's.
copyrights. I
Whoa, wait a minute. No, holy fuck. I forgot about this because it's kind of died down. What the fuck happened to Dr. Disrespect?
that guy. He was banned and like he doesn't even know why, and no one's willing to talk
So
about it.
he says.
Yeah, so he
Do you
says.
believe him? I don't know if I believe him. I've heard some wild rumors. Wild rumors.
I've heard a theory that he was like starting up his own like streaming
Yeah,
service.
yeah, I heard that too. I don't know if I necessarily believe that one.
Nah.
I don't think I believe any of them. I heard another rumor is that he got Me Too'd.
Mm.
Which
I feel like that would
if
be plastered all over the internet though if that were the case.
well,
Like Reddit would have
I
taken
mean,
that and run with it if it were true.
well, I mean, it if those rumors are true and if the allegations of those rumors are true, then he's a piece of shit. Um, if they're just rumors and people are just trying to start shit on the internet, that's fucked up
Hmm.
because like, this man has a family and yada yada, all that shit. However, it kind of makes you think because remember the last time he got temporarily banned on Twitch? I think it was like 2 years ago. He was at like Gamescom or E3 or something like that, and he was streaming IRL like from his phone
Hmm.
or something, and he took the camera into the men's bathroom, and
Ah,
so obviously that was against Twitch's TOS, because like you know it's a bathroom
right.
with others and parts that can't be shown on stream. Um, and so that's why like his first Twitch ban happened, and I don't remember what year that was, but I want to say that was a couple years ago. Um, and so I did you watch the clip that like of his last stream? The last like 8 minutes of his last stream was hella weird.
No, I did not.
So he was kind of wrapping up his stream, anyways, and then you kind of notice him look over at one of his second screens and he's like reading something and it's not like he's reading the chat. He's like reading something else. And then like his whole demeanor just kind of changes after he read whatever he read.
Hmm.
And then after he read whatever was on his other screen, he was like, "You know what? I don't want to quit streaming yet. We're going to go all day. We're going to keep going here." And then like somebody had like donated or gifted or something and was like, oh, maybe tomorrow on stream you can like play Roblox hide and seek or something like that, and they like linked a YouTube video in the gift message, and he like pulled up the YouTube video and was like watching on stream, and like the whole time he was just kind of like reading something like on his monitor and like kind of like vaguely interacting with chat
Hmm.
and just being like just like acting weird. And then he started talking about someone who I can't remember the name. I think it was like something Flick, like Dave Flick or David, I don't know. Well, I googled who that was after I watched the clip, and the guy was some like conspiracy theorist who's written like a dozen books and done like documentaries and all this shit. Um, and then Dr. Disrespect started talking about how he bought this guy's book and he really wanted to read it. And he's like, watched the dude's documentaries and yada yada. And he like kept mentioning this guy's name over and over again. And then, like, the last 60 seconds of the clip, he like read something else. And he was just like, got so flustered. And he was like, oh, fuck. Uh, we're we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this Champions Club. Champions Club is what he calls his like Twitch subscribers. For anyone that doesn't know that,
Right.
and he's like, "We're gonna get through this. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't know what's gonna happen. This is weird times that we're living in." And then he just like abruptly fucking signed off and like cued his outro. And so
Odd.
everyone is like, and obviously there's like people that are automatically defending him, and they're like, "Yo, Doc is like this big stage guy. Like he likes to create controversy. He likes to fucking do all these publicity things and like create like he's running a show. Like his stream isn't just a stream. Like it's a fucking production."
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not a huge Doctor Disrespect fan. No disrespect to him. He's obviously very popular. He's very good at what he does. I just don't particularly like his content,
That's
'cause I've
fair.
never really been a huge fan of it. But so like I don't really watch him. Because I don't watch him, I'm just kind of seeing that one clip and not necessarily any of his other theatrical stunts maybe that he's potentially done on stream, but like a lot of his like, hard time fans are like, they were all over social media 2 weeks ago when this like all popped up, and they were like, oh, Doc does this stuff all the time. This is nothing new. If people actually watch Doc, they would know that he tries to do this and that and yada yada. And I'll give that benefit of the doubt because I do know that Doc is a big personality. I know that Doc, like, he shows out for his stream,
Yeah.
and people were, they kept screenshotting a little Easter egg from his stream layout. There was like a little note in the corner, kind of, it looked like a little calendar, like a rip off pull calendar looking thing, and it just said like prepare for July or June 29th is when all this shit happened. And so like June 29th all this shit happens, and he has this in his layout or like in his overlay on his Twitch stream
Hmm.
that like says like it's hidden kind of in his overlay. Um and it just says like prepare for June 29th, and then like all this shit happens. So like people have been speculating that it's been something that's just like theatrical and like whatever. However, the thing that I don't understand is, he gets dropped from Twitch. I read reports that he got dropped from all of his like sponsorships. Um it was kind of out of character to some that the first like thing that came out was his wife initially, who was standing by the sides of the women and individuals who had been affected through sexual assault and those kind of things, like within the gaming and Twitch community, because that's kind of been like the new movement on Twitch,
Yeah.
as far as like bringing light to females and other individuals who have been uh, sexually assaulted, and any other words or terms that can be used in that context. Um, and so his wife had mentioned, like, tweeted something out about that, and people are like, well, maybe Doc's getting me too'd, maybe Doc, sexually assaulted someone, yada yada, throwing out all these crazy rumors. Nothing's been confirmed. His wife, tweets about that, and then like I think it was a few days later after his wife had made that statement, um, that Doc I think tweeted out was like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Twitch never told me why I got banned. I just got banned. Like, don't know what's happening. And then it's just been silence since then.
Hmm.
And I follow Slasher, huge insider in the gaming community, probably top insider in the gaming community. He had tweeted out like 2 days after the Twitch ban and was like, finally got reports from credible sources about what's going on with Dr. Disrespect and the bans. I am not at liberty to say right now what's happening. I don't think it's my position to uh like publish this uh lead or source or yada yada. And then everybody in the comment section is just like, that means you don't know anything, nothing's even happening. Everyone's just like, what the fuck? And everybody's been in the dark. We haven't really heard. The only thing, uh, there was the rumors that like Dr. Disrespect, Ninja, and Shroud were gonna like go and start their own streaming platform, more of like a premium, like premium service, kind of like an HBO of
Hmm.
like content creation and streaming. Um, because after the whole Mixer deal went down, where Mixer shut down and obviously had to pay out Shroud and Ninja, the numbers for Ninja, I think, were up to like $100 million that Mixer had to pay him out, and about $10 million for what they paid out Shroud, which is just fucking insane. I don't know why either one of them would even fucking like stream again. They're set for the rest of their lives.
Basically.
Um, and like the only thing that I've seen from either of them on social media, is I've just seen Ninja like fucking clapping back on like a lot of people on Twitter, like what's her name? Alinity. Is that what it
Alinity,
is?
yeah,
Yeah.
XQC as well.
Alinity.
Those two got in a bit of
Mhm.
a Twitter war.
Yeah, they've
That
just
was
been
quite
like
entertaining.
clapping at each other for like 2 weeks. Um Shroud's been silent this whole time. Ninja nor Shroud have come out and said if they're going to go back to Twitch or if they're like going to go for Facebook gaming or YouTube gaming or what. Nobody said anything. It's the weirdest like thing probably. I'm going to fucking say it. It's the biggest conspiracy of 2020 because nothing is being resolved and the entire public is in the dark.
Well, I'm
And
since you
Epstein did
mentioned
not
that,
kill himself.
yeah, true, true.
Speaking of, no,
But
we'll get into that later. Hang on.
uh, since just because you mentioned that little Easter egg in his stream overlay, makes me kind of lean towards this being some sort of stunt that
Mhm.
the doc and has is kind of in on, and he's somehow managed to get. Well, maybe he got Twitch on board and a bunch of his sponsors, or maybe not. That could be unrelated. Who knows? But I'm leaning towards this being some sort of stunt, just for the sheer coincidence that there was a little blurb prepare for 29th, and then all this shit goes down on 29th. I
Right.
that doesn't strike me as coincidence. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I guess I am just so I just want to know. Like I'm not even invested in any of this. I like I didn't really I never watched Doctor Disrespect really. I don't really care for Ninja either because he just his streams don't do it for me. I don't think he's entertaining. I think he's kind of annoying. My opinion. We're going on. Shroud, I like Shroud, and but when he moved over to Mixer, I never watched him again. I literally never logged on Mixer before.
hmm
Um,
I'm the
but like
same way,
when
really.
Shroud was streaming on Twitch, I would watch Shroud all the time because he's just really good at video games that I play. So like it's fun for me to watch someone that plays a video game that's really fucking better than me at them. But like I'm not invested in any three of these individuals that are in like the main spotlight right now from this Dr. Disrespect conspiracy. But here we are 2 weeks later, and we probably would have talked about this last week and then just reiterated the same conversation this week had we fucking recorded last week, but I wasn't feeling like it, so leave me alone. Um and we would have just had the same conversation because nothing has transpired from this entire meltdown that occurred on stream for Dr. Disrespect. It was weird. The clip is weird, and I think that you should like Google it. Google the clip of like the last 8 minutes of Doc's stream because it's very strange. And like, if it was just like a theatrical stunt, like the dude was hella convincing because he just like his whole attitude changed for like the last 8 minutes, and the last like 60 seconds is just. I mean, it is the demeanor of someone who is fucking guilty.
Hmm. I mean, I don't doubt that like he's capable of putting on a good show. I mean, every stream
Oh yeah.
he puts on the character of the Doc.
Right.
So, I mean, he's definitely got practice in that sort of field. I would dare say that he's a pretty good
Dude,
actor
how do you think
if he
he
wanted.
plays in sunglasses for like
I
10
have
hours a
no
day?
idea.
I
Like
would
I've
not be able
tried
to
playing
see
in
shit.
sunglasses and I just cannot do it.
I would not be able to see anything. I couldn't do it. I don't know how he does it.
No idea. It must be like some special shades that kind of
You think like
don't.
where it doesn't actually darken, it just like
No.
it's like a mirror. It's like a mirror finish on the outside that doesn't actually darken your image.
Something like that. Cause like you can
I
get
could
tons
believe
of
it.
like fake sunglasses that don't actually do anything, but they look like real
Maybe.
sunglasses.
I could believe that. Because I could not play in sunglasses. Anything. It would just I think that would strain my eyes so much.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be able to see shit. Um yeah, so that's my input on the doc situation in case anybody wanted to bring that back up in the comment section. The in other United States news, um Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend um, has been arrested for allegations of things pertaining to sexual assault and all of those things.
False allegations or
Um, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the whole story. I just saw that she was arrested. I don't even fucking remember her name, to be honest with you. But I did see that um, she was being taken to the same uh jail or prison or what, jail, I guess, because she's just in holding. And but it's the same jail that Jeffrey Epstein hanged himself in. And
I thought we
then
established that he didn't kill
there
himself.
was also a report that I have to fucking look up her name. Why can't I remember her name? One second. Uh, it's like Maxwell or something Maxwell, I think. Here we go. Just uh oh my god. Yeah. Ghislaine?
Just just slain?
Uh his lane? Here, I will fucking you can help me out with that one. Just
Ghislaine. I have no clue.
well, Ms. Maxwell um was here we will read a uh paragraph from BBC News is the source here.
G Lane.
Um Ghislaine
G Lane. That's how you pronounce it, apparently.
Ghislaine Maxwell, okay, was charged in the U.S. Um, she was charged in the U.S. after being arrested by the FBI. She is accused of assisting Epstein's abuse of minors by helping to recruit and groom victims known to be underage. So she's a piece of shit. Don't give a fuck if she did it or not. Because she probably did, because Epstein was a fucking creep as well. Um,
Wouldn't surprise
she
me if she
pre
was in on it, honestly.
This is from BBC.com. After being arrested in New Hampshire, she was brought to court and remanded in custody. For transfer to New York, Miss Maxwell, 58 years of age, has previously denied any involvement in or knowledge of Epstein's alleged sexual misconduct. Epstein died in prison on August 10th as he awaited, without the chance of bail, his trial on sex trafficking charges. It states that, well, this is not from the article, this is from my mouth. It states that Epstein died in prison on August 10th. However, it fails to neglect that how he died, which was an alleged suicide of a man that was on suicide watch and to be checked on every 5 minutes. Um, yeah, he didn't kill himself. Anyways, uh, Epstein was arrested last year in New York following allegations that he was running a network of underage girls, some as young as 14 years of age, for sex. His death was determined to be a suicide. Oh, if I would have kept rating, it would have, said. Either way, he didn't kill himself. But then I saw a report, and I don't know the source of this one. It might have just been online mumbo jumbo, but it said that. Well, how do you pronounce your name?
Uh,
Giselle?
G-Line? G-Line?
Gisline? Well, it said that Miss Maxwell was diagnosed positive for COVID-19. So here we are.
It all
almost one
comes
year.
full circle.
Almost 1 year following the alleged suicide of Jeffrey Epstein, that his former, or I guess we can call it, well, I'm gonna continue to say former because they were together at time of his death. But he's no longer alive, so either way, his lifelong girlfriend is arrested on charges related to the same, quote, sex operation of minors that Mr. Jeffrey Epstein was, allegedly running. And she's being transferred, or I'm sure the transfer is complete. So she's being housed in the same jail that Epstein allegedly killed himself in. And now, I see reports that that she was diagnosed positive for COVID-19. They're just making it too easy to kill, and you know what the problem is? The problem is the state, because there are so many fucking rats, a part of the federal government in the United States, that they don't want fucking whistleblowers. Look what they did to Snowden. That dude still can't come back to the US. Or actually, did he get pardoned? No, I don't think so. I have no facts. Okay? But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't be surprised if on August 10th again, she dies of COVID-19. Mark it down.
Dude,
August 10th. 1 year later exactly. She will
Illuminati confirmed.
her her autopsy will state that she died from complications of COVID-19. Fucking mark it down. Magically, though, everybody else in the jail is going to be fucking fine, and nobody else is going to have coronavirus there.
Of course not.
I hate the world.
Should turn
And
this into a conspiracy theory podcast.
dude, that's kind of what we talked about 2 weeks ago. And then the fucking aliens are coming back for the rapture, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. It's wild. The world is wild. And
The government is run by an intelligent species that lives in the fourth
no,
dimension.
they're not intelligent. If they were intelligent, they wouldn't fuck little girls. They would not fuck minors if they were intelligent. None of these people, none of these elitists, none of these people in which we're supposed to fucking be, you know, taking orders from, would be doing humanity like this. They're fucking crooks, every single one of them. Even the fucking, quote, good elitists, good politicians. I hate politics, and I
I
hate
can
everybody
tell.
that runs for politics.
What if I run for politics?
I hate you. We're
Love
supposed to
you
be a
too,
free
man.
world. The whole world should be free. And that means free from this bullshit. It's like fucking, what did I just see the other day? I tweeted about it. Um,
I feel like we've
what did I
discussed
tweet
this on
about?
an earlier episode though,
Did
how
I?
because like I think because like I remember saying how like humanity when you get like a collective of people, they just by default look to one or a small group of people to lead the rest
Yeah, but why? Why do
because
we need leaders?
people can't
If
fucking
we
make their own
took away
decisions.
leaders, if we took away laws. Okay, no, just hear me out. I'm not in favor of anarchy. I want to make that clear right off the bat. I'm not in favor of anarchy. However, if let's make it smaller here even. Let's make it smaller. Say that murder, we're going to go extreme here. We're going to go extreme. Say that murder was not illegal. Is the fact that murdering someone comes with the consequence of justice the reason that people don't murder each other? Or is it just the simple fact that a very small, very 0.0001% of human beings are fucking murderers.
You bring up a good point,
So
honestly.
why
Cause
is
like
it that we have to
whether
have thousands upon thousands of pieces of legislation? Jesus, I can't speak because I'm flustered all the time. Why do we have to have all these quote laws in place to tell us how we're supposed to be orderly
Mhm.
when
And like
99.9% of humans are just going to be orderly because we're not a bunch of fucking idiots? We're not going to murder people. We're not going to rob stores. We're not going to rob people. We're not going to fucking assault people. Like we're not going to hurt other human beings. Now that 0.001% will. But guess what? The laws don't stop them anyways.
I feel
So
like
why do
cause
we
like
need a governing body? Fucking fuck it, get rid of it. Maybe I am a fan of anarchy. I'm not really sure. I'm not.
I think you
I don't
are.
think I am.
I think
But
you'd love to see an anarchy state. I think like cause like I agree like majority of the people just like if like we just abolished all laws overnight, I feel like majority of people would still just go about their day not really giving a shit. Like how many people are constantly thinking about, oh, I better be careful not to break this law today. Oh, don't break that one. Oh, don't rob this person. Oh, don't kill that person. I feel like a lot of people just don't give a shit. Um, at the
that
same
was what I was talking
time,
about.
at the
I
same
linked it in the
time, I
chat.
do think like the fact that there are consequences in place for being a shitty person, it does dissuade at least a small amount of people from doing what they would normally do if those laws weren't in place.
I'm sorry, run that back. What'd you just say?
Did your internet cut out?
No, I'm here. I didn't interpret every word you said.
Okay. Well, I'll see if I
I
can.
just the last part. What was the last sentence?
Well, I feel like
Something about laws in place. That's all I heard.
even if these laws weren't in place, I think there would definitely be a small amount of people that would take advantage of that and steal and murder for whatever reason.
You think?
I think so. I think there are
So okay,
people that are
let's
like,
let's put
"Oh,
it in
if
different
this
terms
law
then.
wasn't here, I could probably get away with this or something like that."
Okay, so let's put it in terms that aren't uh that don't have victims. Let's talk about victimless crimes here, which we've had this conversation before, I'm sure. Let's talk about
Probably.
drug use for a second. So
Okay.
you're telling me, so obviously right now, throughout all 50 states, and actually I'm not even going to speak on Canada laws, but I'm going to speak US. Throughout all 50 states, drugs like methamphetamine and heroin are illegal.
Hmm.
Now, is it the fact that if you are caught using, distributing, creating, whatever, these substances, that uh you risk jail time, or consequence within our judiciary system? Or so that is what deters individuals from partaking in, smoking methamphetamine, or snorting heroin, or shooting it, or however you like to do your drugs. Or is it the fact that, like, these things are just bad and we as humans probably shouldn't do these things?
I mean, I'm not saying that like everybody would just go out shooting crack if there were no laws about it. But
But you
I
think there would be
think
an
there
uptick?
are a small amount of people that are deterred by the fact
Really?
that there are laws in place. I think so, yeah. So like if you think about it, like if we go to like young impressionable kids, right? Their parents always telling them, "Oh, don't do this and that because the law says you can't do this and that." Well, if those laws weren't in place, then who's to say that kid wouldn't just be like, "There's no law stopping me. I'm gonna try it anyway. Fuck you." Because
Okay.
rebellious teenagers and all.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll accept that. But it kind of is a it's kind of an argument when it comes to people who are, um for or against capital punishment within the United States.
Hmm.
The problem with capital punishment is that it's not really punishment. Um, I think, at least in my state, there's only been like a handful of death row sentences actually executed within the last like decade.
Right.
And the problem with capital punishment is like it's not swift. You sit on death row for 20 years, 25 years, and you just end up dying in prison. You don't even, you don't fulfill your death sentence for whatever crimes you committed. Um, and obviously there's problems to capital punishment, especially as years go on, and we see a lot of individuals who were falsely accused of things or falsely or wrongly imprisoned for things. Uh, Maybe not so much on when talking about death penalties and stuff like that. But, new DNA, new information, new evidence, whatever comes out fucking 15 years later. And then this person whose life was ruined for, you know, double digits of years
Hmm.
is now supposed to just be like, okay, cool, I'm out. Awesome. Like, yeah, there's problems, but that's our entire prison system also. Our entire prison system is a problem. We just kind of let people fucking falter and deteriorate
Right.
while imprisoning them instead of trying to develop better human beings out of them.
Yeah,
And
that's the thing that I don't really follow about the whole death row thing, because like, I mean, if you break it down, it's just, here's an idea, let's murder the murderers. Doesn't that just
well,
make
I
you
mean,
the
I
murderer?
don't.
Because like,
I mean,
I
I
mean, I'm
that can go
oversimplifying the
back. I
concept,
mean,
but
that's like some Hammurabi shit. Some like eye for an eye. Like it's obviously not a. It's not ethical. It's not.
no.
It's not necessarily the right approach. But I think, um, from a humanity standpoint, or not a humanity standpoint, but from a individual standpoint, like across victims, victims' families rather, you know, victims' families, they want to see those individuals suffer the way that the way that the perpetrator has made that family suffer.
Hmm.
Um, and we are so slow to just like I don't want to say forgive, or maybe I do want to say forgive, and we're too slow to forget things. Um,
I don't. Well, yeah. I think.
and I'm not saying
I
that
say
murderers should be
forgive, but don't
forgiven.
forgive, but never forget.
Yeah.
So
And
like,
obviously I can't speak, for victims. I've never had something like that happen in my life.
right.
So I can't say how I would react to that circumstance. But I would like to believe that if something crazy like that were to happen to me on a personal level, I would like to think that my goal for a peaceful humanity, that I wouldn't necessarily want to see, a murderer be murdered. I would rather see an individual be rehabilitated into a functioning, contributing member of our society as a whole.
Hmm.
Um, and it's like we see in the United States, we house, I think, I don't remember exact numbers, but I want to say I think it's more than 80% of our prison inmates are, nonviolent offenders who are in on drug charges. And we're not doing anything within our prison system to rehabilitate individuals who are in there on drug charges.
Hmm.
We're just locking people up, giving them 3 square meals a day, giving them an hour outside for rec time, and then that's it. But we're putting nonviolent offenders potentially within the same walls of violent offenders.
Right.
And so now, instead of just having someone who maybe got caught selling pot or doing drugs or something, we're putting them into environments where they can no longer try and thrive because they're having to like fend for their fucking lives against people that just want to beat the shit out of them or something. And I've listened to some other podcasts, and I'm a big documentary guy about the judiciary and prison system within the United States because it's just a fucking shit show. It's a fucking shitstorm that at this point probably can't even be fixed. We still have people in prison for marijuana charges when we have like 14 states in the union where you can go down the street, down to the fucking corner store and buy a gram of weed for, $20 and walk home and be fine. Uh, but, we haven't fucking pardoned everybody in those states that are in for pot charges because, 9 times out of 10, those pot charges have turned into something bigger because they've had to, they've gotten into a fight in jail and then they get thrown fucking assault charges or, they're just shit happens. And so all our prison system does is create reoffenders.
Right.
It's the most racist shit in the world. And I don't mean race as in black and white. I mean race as in just, fucking offender versus non-offender. You know, our prison system focuses on your one fault, your one mistake that you made in life, and it throws you into a system that doesn't help you get out of that. If you're an individual from the fucking slums of the US and you're fucking fighting every day, you're grinding every day to try and stay alive, try and, keep food on your table, and you get popped for something, our prison system doesn't help individuals to do anything. It
No.
just it just is there. It's just there to lock people up like fucking animals. And speaking of locking up animals, zoos are fucking bad. Stop going to them.
That too. I haven't been to a z- I haven't don't think I've been to a zoo since I was like 7.
No. I hate zoos.
So here this is sort of my hot take. Well, more or less my idea of a solution or possible solution. So
Okay.
like if we just keep putting offenders into tiny concrete boxes or electrical chairs or whatever the fuck,
Fuck.
then you're just gonna be putting people into electric chairs and concrete boxes for the rest of history.
Mhm.
Because there's always going to be someone who makes a bad decision, a mistake, fucks up, breaks a law, kills somebody. That's just always gonna happen because they're for whatever reason. People have strange motives sometimes. If we want to really get to the root cause and look for a possible solution to why people do fucked up shit, instead of killing them or locking them away forever, let's fucking talk to them. Figure out like what what can possibly be going through somebody's mind to make them think I'm going to kill this person or I'm going to steal from the store or rob a bank or whatever the fuck or even just do fucking crack. What? Cuz there's okay. People fail to realize that everybody, and I mean fucking everybody, is a human being with complex issues, a past, something that shapes them to be who they are. I refuse to believe that somebody is inherently born a killer or a robber or a drug dealer or something like that. We are shaped by our environment, and if we can be shaped by our environment, then we can be made to be better human beings even after we've made horrible mistakes. So, if you ask me, we should don't I mean, obviously there should be justice. I don't think we should just get rid of like justice systems entirely, but I think we could do more to help people be better than just locking them away. for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is a better way to go about the system that the United States has.
Hmm.
There has to be. I don't like I don't see how trying to rehabilitate individuals through uh, psychological therapies or you know, therapy groups or individual therapies or fucking uh, you know,
Hmm.
trying to think of other ways to like there's got to be something other than just locking people up. But the the problem is that there's too many industries that benefit off of high inmate counts.
Right.
I mean, it's a $1 trillion industry,
Well, prisons are
you know.
privately owned too, aren't they?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Most,
most of them.
I believe. Or they're I'm pretty sure most are privately funded
Mm.
or at least the privately funded through governmental contracts, if that makes sense. Like obviously like federal prisons are paid like employees and initial fundings and all that kind of stuff is paid for by government entities, either state or federal level. But then like all of the products that are like within prison systems, like the freaking lock steel giant doors, like the fucking surveillance footage, the fucking handcuffs that prisons use, the equipment that officers and other um, staff and client or faculty members use within those prison systems. It's all like it's all commercialized. I mean, it's there. I watched this one small video documentary about like the prison industry, and the within the documentary it showed I'll try and find it and link it to you later, but and you could anyone listening could probably try and Google it. They were seriously having like a convention, like a fucking Comic Con of like prison grade equipment, like all these companies that were manufacturers of like prison goods, and not prison goods as in like toilet wine, but like prison goods as far as like tasers and
Ah,
uh shit like that. Things that like officers or like prison facilities would use. They were like having like this convention, and they were all trying to get contracts, through the prison systems.
that's
And
interesting.
like the more and within the little video documentary, it was talking about like, you know, prisons receive more aid from their respective governments, whether that be, you know, county, state, federal, depending on like inmate sizes. And that doesn't mean that like the quality of life within prison is better. It just means that the prison receives more funding.
Hmm.
There and there was I watched another video. I don't believe he's still sheriff. I actually think the ex-sheriff, it was like Joe something, out in Arizona. He was sheriff for one of the state prisons or county prisons or something. I don't know. He was sheriff of a county for like fucking 25 years or something, and he was always reelected for sheriff. Yeah, that's how stupid the the prison system is. We elect sheriffs at the county level. Um, so the
Makes
people get
sense.
to decide, and it's completely political, um, and completely biased on whether you have a D or an R next to your name. Um, And so this man, I think he tried to run for like governor or some shit in Arizona back in like 2016. But he did this, he helped film this documentary with inside of his county jail, and fucking like half of the jail wasn't even inside technically. Uh like half offenders were like outside in like these giant like barrack tents because it was more cost effective than building like new indoor facilities for inmates to sleep. And he was talking about how they feed inmates on like 22 cents a day, or like 22 cents a meal or something per inmate and shit like that. It's like we treat inmates in this country like animals,
Hmm.
not like human beings, and it's sickening. So
Yeah.
it's wild. Epstein still didn't kill himself. So that's my $1.02 on the episode. I got
Equals
nothing
about 10
else for
bucks
you.
Canadian.
What's that?
Said it equals about 10 bucks Canadian.
Buy a fucking house with that much money.
Not in Canada. You could cardboard boxes go for like 10 grand these days.
Jeez.
I was actually curious because I was looking at apartments around Vancouver, and like a one bedroom apartment it goes for like minimum 300 grand to buy it. If you want two
Gosh.
bedroom, you're looking at half a mil plus. An actual
What?
house, $1 million easy. It's ridiculous.
Like a two-bedroom what?
Apartment, half a mil
What do you mean?
plus,
Half a mil what?
$500,000.
Like to buy an apartment?
Yeah,
Like to actually own the apartment?
yes,
The fuck?
yeah.
How much is your rent?
My rent, I got off pretty lucky. I'm on the low end of the spectrum. It's 1,300 a
Okay.
month.
For one bedroom?
Uh, it's not really a bedroom. It's more like a
Oh
very
my god, you
large
live in a
room.
studio?
Studio, yeah.
For 13 maple leafs a month, bro?
And that's on the low end of the spectrum, all things considered.
Oh my Atlanta. Bro, go back to work. Email your boss right now, bro. You starting tonight. Woo. 1,300 maple leaves. Jesus.
It's crazy. It's an
I pay
expense.
less bald eagles and I've got a full fucking townhouse.
Yeah,
My
housing is
goodness.
ridiculous in the cities in Canada. Even not even in
Yeah, it is.
even in
It is in the
cities in
cities in
like
US too. I don't live within the city, so it's not too bad for me.
even in certain parts of like the country, it's just stupid expensive.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a place like fucking, like Chicago. Um, you get a fucking studio apartment, be probably, depending on the location of it, it's not out of pocket to be fucking 2 grand a month,
Hmm.
especially in like a popular, safe area,
Yeah,
Chicago.
it's a very it's I don't fucking I don't even know what the fuck makes it so expensive.
Fucking capitalism.
Yeah, probably.
We're not opening that can of worms today. It's still the best economic system within the world, though. So anybody that wants to talk shit on capitalism can suck my dick.
I don't know nearly enough about economics to even go into that.
seems like a good time to wrap up.
It's funny. I had a whole bunch of different topics on a notepad here, and we
Oh,
never covered
well,
any of
fuck
them.
it. Run them on. Run them on.
Okay, sure. Why not? Why not?
You got a little extra segment.
Uh, well, since this can be kind of like a half-ass segue, since we did briefly touch on the Me Too subject. I think it was
Oh yeah.
last weekend. Are you familiar with a content group called Offline TV?
No, but please enlighten me.
So basically, it's a group of streamers of varying gender and ethnicity that all live in a house and create content and mostly stream on Twitch and do
Okay,
other stuff. Um,
gotcha.
one of the more prominent members uh, and longest, probably one of the longest standing members of the group as well.
Okay,
Uh, a couple weekends ago, was removed from the creator house
okay.
under different sexual assault allegations.
Mm, okay.
Nothing like on the borderline of rape, but more or less inappropriate and unsolicited touching and
No,
cuddling and stuff
it's
like that.
there.
Um,
There's no need to try and defend any of them.
I mean,
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's all over the place. The biggest thing that like irritated me was just how fucking ruthless the internet would be. Like they were
Oh yeah,
attacking all
like the
three of
cancel culture.
oh yeah. They were like but like they were people were attacking all three of the girls in the house who had a story about the dude,
Oh,
as well as like other members unrelated to the group that had stories with the guy. And like people are
huh.
like, "Oh, why didn't you get here's the other thing. This is probably what fucking pissed me off the most. Two of the three girls came out with twit longer statements, so it's like a whole paragraph of like this
Uh-huh.
is my story and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And they clearly say in the story that like, "Oh, we had an intervention with this guy. He seemed very apologetic at the time, but then not long later he was doing it again. So we're now coming out public about it and we're kicking him out of the house." And then people are in the fucking replies of the tweet being like, "Why didn't you do it privately?" Like, bitch, they just said they tried that and it didn't work. Can you fucking
Right.
read?
Yeah.
God, people who don't fucking read piss me off.
Hmm. Okay. So that upset you. What else is on your
Yes.
notepad that upset you?
And like people, there's also like it's like people that just try to like shrug it off like, oh, he was misled, or you shouldn't have said yes, or you should have said no, and like something that people don't quite seem to understand is that the brain is very complicated, and when somebody you trust or has authority over you does some fucked up shit that you're not prepared for,
Hmm?
sometimes your brain just goes turns off and you can't do anything about it. It's a weird concept for someone to get their head around, but trust me, it's real. It happens to people. So fuck off with your just say no, please and thank you. All right? Rant over.
Next topic.
Artemis Fowl is a movie that came out and it sucked.
Artemis Fowl. Please
Yes.
enlighten me with every spoiler possible if it sucked.
So,
What happened? What is this movie? I've never even heard of this movie. When did it come out?
it came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, went right over my feed. Okay.
It's probably for the best. So
What's it
Artemis
about?
Fowl is an I think it's an 8 book series.
Jesus
Very
Christ. They made a movie off of 8 fucking books and it sucked? They got so much content.
Actually, the movie is only based around the first 2 books, surprisingly.
Okay.
Well, mostly the first book and a bit of the second book. Well, absolutely none of the books at all. It just has the same characters and it's a completely different story. I'll get
Have
to
you
that.
read the books?
I've read the books and I've seen the movie, and I regret seeing the movie, but I love the books. So,
Okay.
um,
Fucking dweeb. Anyways.
if you're literate and looking for something to do, then I mean they're pretty
Not
good
me.
books. Um,
So what's this about? What's the movie
so
about?
the premise is this boy, 12, I think he's 12 in the books, in the first book anyway. Um, 12-year-old genius, like fucking Albert Einstein level genius, apparently beat the world's greatest chess player in just 5 moves when he was 7. That's how intelligent he is. Um,
Okay.
he's the youngest kid in like a crime family, and about 2 years before the book takes place, his dad goes missing, and along with a big chunk of the family fortune. So Artemis's idea to reinstate the family fortune is to rob some fairies. Yeah. So
Like boat
it's
fairies
like
or like fairy
elves and
people?
dwarves and sprites and things.
Okay.
Sort of the this also takes place in Ireland, so that's that.
Okay.
So they've the fairies, after I don't know how many hundreds of years ago, were driven underground during like human expansion. So
Okay.
humanity at the current date knows nothing about it apart from like all the Irish legends and pots of
Mhm.
gold at the end of the rainbow. And Artemis, being a super duper intelligent kid, uses his intelligence, and this is in it's very cleverly written in the book how he uses his intelligence to like basically trick the fairies into giving him uh like a lot of gold, basically.
Okay.
Um, fuck it, I'll go into a bit of the plot. So like he finds this elf, not elf, a fairy of sorts named Holly Short, kidnaps her, and then the lower elements police reconnaissance, or uh, LEP recon, leprechaun, hey, for short.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ. Okay.
they launched sort of a mission to recover their lost officer, Holly Short, who incidentally is the first female officer ever in the history of the LEP. But they have like their own code of rules. For example, the fairies are not allowed to enter a human dwelling without first being invited. So that complicates things. They can't just like walk in and take her. They so they have to devise crazy plan to try and get her out. Um, and Artemis, through his insane intelligence, manages to outsmart him. They get their officer back through a trade by trading him like 2 tons of gold or something like that. It might have been more. It's been a long time since I read the book, but they trade it, and then their idea to get the gold back is to basically put like a bubble around his house and nuke it with like a magic thing that just kills all living things, all living people inside of it. And then Artemis comes out with an very intelligent way to sort of avoid that. I can't remember quite how he does it, but he does it. So once it's all said and done, the fairies walk in, thinking that he's dead and that they can just waltz in and take the gold. But because of their previously established law that they can't just walk into a human dwelling without being invited, they get horrendously ill, so they can't get their gold back. So at the end of the day, Artemis wins, and it's interesting because like you expect a protagonist to be a good guy, but in the books, Artemis Fowl is very much not.
I mean, his last name kind of says it.
Yeah, he's a very foul person.
Yeah.
So that's the book, oversimplified. The
Holy fuck, that wasn't the
movie,
movie?
no,
Okay.
that was the book. The
Okay.
movie, uh, virtually disregards all of that. Like,
Okay.
literally, the only thing similar is the fact that the characters have the same names. In the movie, uh, some evil villain who is never even mentioned until like 2 or 3 books later
Okay.
is the main antagonist. Artemis Fowl is a good kid who just wants to clear his father's name.
That sounds about right.
There's some sort of MacGuffin, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a literary device whose sole purpose is to just propel the plot forward.
Okay.
I hate
I
them
don't
and
know
everything they
anything, so
stand
thank you
for.
for describing that.
So there's a MacGuffin that he needs to try and find, and it's in his house. It's in his house, but he doesn't know where it
Shut the
is.
fuck up.
Yeah, the thing is in a safe in his house, but he somehow doesn't know where it is, nor does he think to check it. So his idea is to kidnap Holly Short so that the fairies come and try to rescue her. And they try to rescue her by using a dwarf who, and by the way, dwarves are very uh, good at stealing shit. So they
Okay.
send in this dwarf who magically stumbles upon where this MacGuffin is hidden in a safe, steals it, and that's how he finds a thing. And it's like, you could have just fucking looked, but whatever.
Fucking looked. Okay.
It's in your house, in your safe. You could have found it, but whatever. So yeah,
This movie sounds fucking terrible.
yeah, it is absolutely terrible. There's also the
Okay.
fact that like, cause in the book, Artemis kidnaps a fairy, so they hate each other with a burning passion. In the movie, they become friends. Like he's like 5 minutes after he kidnaps her, he's like, "Can I trust you?" And then he fucking lets her out of the cage. What do you mean? Bullshit. Not to mention, like the dialogue is so cringe. Like the fucking conversations between people it's like written by a fucking kindergartner. The dialogue is so awful, and the story is all over the place. And like, it fucking sucks. Disney,
Okay.
stop making movies, please.
Okay. 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 I understand you're angry.
Yeah,
Running out of time.
it's
Next topic.
absolute disservice to the books. I'm genuinely offended. Anyway, I finished The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes, you did. You showed much detest on Twitter, didn't you?
Um,
Or no, 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 no. It was 2 weeks ago. You were verbalizing detest on the podcast about the fucking antagonist side of the story and yada
yeah,
yada
I think
yada.
at that time I was like halfway through the story,
Yeah.
and then I
Okay.
finished
So,
it. So,
uh, 30-second review. Go.
oh god. So I think the story is a little bit all over the place. However, the characters are very lovable, and the environment is absolutely superb. And I'd say if you've played the first game and you really liked it, then by all means give the second one a go. If you don't like it, oh well. If you do like it, fantastic. The
0 out of
end.
10. Go.
um, yeah, that's about it. I think it was pretty good for a game.
Okay. It's like a 7.
Story is a bit all over the place, but still.
Okay. Did you
People who
hate
are
the ending like the world did, like Twitter did? Twitter
oh
hated the
yeah,
ending.
the
Did you hate the
ending.
ending?
Yeah.
Bad
So
or good? Not good.
I understand why people are upset about it because spoiler alert, Ellie doesn't get her revenge on Abby, the main antagonist. It was all about trying to find her and kill her, and then in the end, she just can't bring herself to do it and doesn't do it.
Did they become
Um,
friends?
they don't become friends.
Oh,
Abby fucks off,
well,
and then Ellie returns to her home. The
everything goes full circle, man.
the sort of the idea that I think Naughty Dog was going for was that like Ellie becomes so wrapped up in this revenge mission that she makes stupid risks, kills people unnecessarily. At some point, she ends up killing a pregnant woman who Abby was friends with, and several other of her friends, without reason, honestly.
Okay.
And when she comes back after not even successfully completing her revenge mission, she comes back and like everyone she knows and loves have left her, right?
Okay.
There's even like even before she goes on her final sort of like the third act of the game, so to speak. Before she does that, uh she's kind of with her girlfriend. Oh yeah, she's gay by the way. A lot of people were upset about that. Fucking dumb. Get over it. So her and her girlfriend, Dina, are living together. They have a kid. Um,
Where'd the kid come from?
Dina was pregnant with another dude who also dies,
Okay.
by the way.
Oh, god
Um,
damn, you're just full of spoilers, aren't you?
fuck it. I don't care. If I said spoiler warning earlier, if you're still here, it's on your own damn fault. So yeah, they have a kid, and Ellie has PTSD of when Joel, her only father figure, was brutally murdered by Abby, which is what sparked the revenge mission in the first place. She has PTSD and she's like, I have to do this. I have to go find her and kill her. And Dina's like, if you go and when you come back, I'm not going to be here. So Ellie leaves on a revenge mission. She comes back. Dina's gone. It's an empty house. Nothing. Nothing there for her. And she even, during her revenge mission, loses two of her fingers, which prevents her from playing guitar. And the guitar was like her only remaining physical connection from with her and past Joel. So she literally loses everything in order to get revenge on somebody. So I think that that's sort of like basically if you were going into this game expecting it to be some sort of happy ending and everyone lives happily ever after and all your beloved characters are fine and dandy, drop that. This is not a happy story. This is a Shakespearean tragedy, and Ellie is a tragic hero, and that is my review. Holy shit, that took a lot of breath.
That was way longer than 30 seconds, but
Fuck
it
it.
was way better than the first 30-second review you gave. So,
I'm
well,
not
that's
good at
crazy.
30-second reviews, but yeah,
You
long
streamed the whole
story
thing,
short, it's a tragedy, but it's a really good one.
and you streamed the whole thing.
I did stream the whole thing, so the
Awesome.
archives are being uploaded as we speak. So
Sheesh.
go enjoy those on
Well,
my YouTube. Shameless plug.
shit, man. I need to play a new game that is actually story related. That's not SpongeBob. Um, yeah, I've been telling myself to do that. Maybe I'll do it. Probably
Have you ever
not.
played Red Dead Redemption 2?
No, I never played the first one.
Oh, well, there's an option for you.
Yeah, I don't want to spend $60 on a game though.
Is the summer sale still going on? It's probably
Oh yeah, sorry. It's 49 or 47.99.
ah
RDR2 is.
oh, it's RDR2. What about the first one? I'm sure it's got to be like
The
around
first one's
10,
not
20
on
bucks.
PC.
What?
The first one was Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 only.
Oh, that's gay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with being gay. I just played a game with two gay people and I loved it.
We're
Seriously,
gonna
people
we're
who are
gonna sign
upset about
off.
that, you're fucking dumb.
That's hella dumb.
People are also
I would
upset by the fact that Abby had muscles. Like, seriously, fuck off.
what? Okay, I'm signing off. I'm done with this conversation. Is your list done? I wanna get everything on your list. We never get your list done.
I don't know. I got a couple other things, but like
Okay,
we can
okay,
gloss
let's do
over
it.
it
Nope.
if you want
All right,
to.
nope. What do we got?
Don't worry
What do we
about
got?
it. Okay,
Nope.
well,
Nope. More.
I
More.
saw a video on Twitter of a couple people that were painting over that Black Lives Matter mural in the streets of
Mhm.
California.
I saw that as well. Yep.
Yeah,
That was really dumb.
that happened.
Mhm.
Don't really know what
Which
else to
it's
say
still
about that.
just going to say Black Lives Matter, just in a different color. It
Ironically,
was
in black.
black paint. It was black paint on a fucking gray street. Like,
Yeah,
anyways,
yeah. People are
next
they're not
topic.
intelligent. It's the thing that because like the I see the argument all the time. Oh, it not Black Lives Matter. It's all lives matter. And like
Fuck those
I
people.
I get where you're coming from, but you can't have all lives
I
matter
don't.
if black lives don't matter. That is why Black Lives Matter is a thing. Because previously they have not mattered and we're trying to make them matter. Otherwise, the notive that all lives matter is false. Moving on. Last thing on the list here. Ah, fuck. I should have done this first because then we're gonna end on a sad note. Popular streamer goes by the name of Reckful. Full name is Byron Bernstein. Uh, Unfortunately, passed away. When was this? Oh yeah, on the second, so
A
last
few days ago,
Thursday.
yeah.
Committed suicide, and he's been struggling with mental health, depression for. I think he's said before pretty much his whole life he's been struggling with that sort of thing. So unfortunately, he lost the battle, which sucks. And now we're gonna end on a sad note. And now I'm sad, and all our listeners are sad, and they're never gonna come back.
Well,
talk to people.
I want to mention just one more thing. Um, I know that in the United States and Canada, and I'm pretty sure most regions around the world as well, um, there are, anonymous hotlines
Hmm.
that can be called, someone to talk to, try and get you through the night or the day. Um, you know, we'll I'll have Devin try and remember to maybe put a couple, put the US and Canada numbers in the video description below. Because if
Actually,
you are someone that's
I wrote down the
struggling with,
number just in case. So,
yeah, if
uh,
you are
if you have a pen and
someone
paper ready,
struggling with that stuff, the you know, they're great resources.
hmm
Um,
it's
if
toll free, 24/7, 365 support. Please, if you're feeling down the dumps, give it a call.
they're trained specialists to help you out, to talk with you, and maybe not even talk, maybe just listen. Maybe you want someone to listen to.
Hmm.
Maybe you just want somebody to talk to you and you don't want to say anything. They'll talk to you, you
Yeah.
know. If you're just going through it and you feel like you haven't had somebody even acknowledge you for however long, they'll acknowledge you. They're great people. They do a job that a lot of people couldn't because their entire work shift is sad.
Hmm.
And if you're going through it, um, it sucks because the only person that can help you there at the start is you, but you have to be the one to seek that help. And it's a
Hmm.
hard step because you know the world can feel against you at all corners of it, but there's some light to be found, and if you search for it, then there's so many people that would rather listen, that would rather talk to you than the alternative. Uh, I know that I would want, anybody that I'm near to, I would rather them call me at 4 a.m. and wake me up if they were going through something and they needed me than to hear sad news like Brian. So it's it sucks. I did see that a lot of uh, internet personalities and stuff were commenting on it. Anybody that doesn't know much of his backstory, I'm sure he's got a wiki page or something. He was one of like the first big streamers on Twitch. He was a big World of Warcraft guy,
Hmm.
great content creator.
I think
It
he was
just
top of the boards for some time on that game, wasn't
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And it sucks, it just kind of shows that, you know, no matter who you are, what you do, or what you have, mental health issues, they don't discriminate. So,
he? No.
if you're going through it, you got to take that first step and ask for help. And I promise you there will be a dozen hands reaching back to you trying to help. And if there's not, then fucking message me on Twitter.
Hmm.
I'll reach my hand out to you. I'll talk to you.
Likewise, my DMs are always open.
So yeah, those numbers will be in the description.
Yeah.
Share them, tweet them out. You never know who's just missing that little nudge to try and get some help, even if you're not even if you're not somebody going through something yourself. Um, those lifelines are very useful. So that's all I wanted to add.
Right. And even if you're not one of those people who's struggling with mental health, um, you can still be there. You can, if someone comes to you, be supportive, listen to them. Like we said earlier, everybody's human. Everyone's got problems. We can get through this together.
Thanks for
Uh,
listening.
yeah,
If
we
you made it this far, if you
yeah,
clicked on the video link,
if you did,
thanks.
we try to be more entertaining than this, but it's an important topic. I feel like too often mental health gets kind of glossed over in certain places, especially in education, public education. So if we can do our part to sort of spread awareness and links to help people, that's what we're gonna do. Deal with it. All right. All right. I got nothing else. That's my whole list done. Do you have anything?
Um, I did have one. I did have one. I know we just like did an outro. But this is actually a couple weeks old now. It would have been more relevant last week had we recorded. There was a day. I think it was technically 2 weeks ago. But it was before when we would have regularly recorded. And it involved the Twitch blackout that occurred. And
Oh yeah, that thing.
um, there, I'm just gonna give a quick little opinion about it, I guess.
I'm pretty sure I talked about
Um,
it on my stream too.
yeah, I think I was in your chat when we kind of chatted about it for a second. But one, I wasn't really sure if what we were uh blacking out Twitch for. I saw some people talking about how it had to do with the recent like sexual assault allegations that a lot of Twitch streamers and gaming community individuals have been allegedly accused of or outed on and stuff. I also saw other people saying that the Twitch blackout was very similar to the Instagram blackout, which happened following the death of Minnesota resident George Floyd. Um, I think what I would like to say um, is why all of these issues are very important, and it's important that we bring notice to them.
Hmm.
So what I don't get is why content creators are using their platform to black out opposed to speaking up
Right.
on their platform. Um,
If you're not familiar with Twitch
bring
Blackout,
light
basically
to
there
it.
was a day everyone was like, "We're gonna not stream for this day in support of all these people." So
Yeah.
that's kind of what that was about.
So, you know, you went silent for a whole day and you tried to use it as a message to, I don't know, Twitch or the world
I think it
opposed
was
to
directly to Twitch, is my
because
understanding of it.
Twitch wasn't like ending people's partnerships and stuff, right?
I think that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah,
They weren't taking action against people who had been alleged sexual
accused of
assaulters and stuff.
sexual, yeah, sexual misconduct and stuff. So, um, instead, use your platforms. Don't don't silence yourself. Don't try and silence the world.
Hmm.
Um, Twitch is a great platform for anyone to put their thoughts and ideas out there for. Um, especially people with large communities.
Yeah,
Um, use your built community to get your message across that you want to get across. Uh, and the people that end up leaving, I mean, there's a lot of streamers on Twitch that they use Twitch is their income, Twitch is their jobs. Um, and a lot of people were pretty silent about it. Probably, in fear of losing viewership or losing subscribers on the platform and all that. And I understand, it's kind of tough mixing your personal opinions when it comes to your business inquiries. Um, I guess my thing is if you're going to unsubscribe or unfollow or block or whatever on the internet because you don't agree with decency and humanity, then I don't know if I want you to be a follower of mine anyways. So, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
Hmm.
Um, whether the Twitch blackout was successful or not, I think it depends on who you ask. I personally think that it would have been more beneficial for uh, you know, recognizable Twitch streamers to bring more light to it on stream
Yeah,
opposed to not streaming and taking the day off and just kind of tweeting that you're not streaming because of the Twitch blackout. I think it would have been more beneficial for communities as a whole to bring light to these issues on their massive platforms. And I think that would show a bigger message to Twitch that, listen, we built you without content creators, without viewers. Like, this company doesn't get bought by Amazon all those years ago. Like, this
hmm,
company doesn't succeed without the content creators, without the viewers. It doesn't happen. And we the people need to make sure that you know that is the message that gets across, and using those platforms to convey your message, I think, is a better way of using the community that individuals have built, um, than just going silent. I don't think silence solves anything.
absolutely.
So
I'm
that's
on
it for
board with
me.
that 100%.
That is it for me. I'm gonna stop talking. Nobody else is even listening anymore. We went on way too long.
It's only an hour and a half.
Yeah, much longer than our recent episodes, but we missed last week because, well, I just wasn't feeling it. I
Hmm.
was in a mood, so sorry.
We had to
We'll
make
be
up for
back
that
next
lost
week.
time.
Yeah. Well, maybe next week. We'll see when Devin goes back to work. Our Hopefully our schedule doesn't get too sporadic.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm concerned
Yeah.
about. Like, I
But
guarantee the
we'll try and get
stream schedule of mine's gonna fuck off, but hopefully we
yeah,
can
but we'll
kind of maintain the podcast for a
mhm,
little bit.
yep. If anything, we'll still try and keep that Wednesday release and you know,
Yeah,
just maybe record Thursday through Tuesday instead of being more up to currents with a Tuesday recording. So thanks for listening. All of our links are in the description. Um, those phone numbers will be in the description. Devin's still streaming at the moment. I'm not, but you could still follow me if you want. Um, I got nothing else. I'm out.
I think it's a pretty good outro. Couldn't have said not much more else that I can add to that. Apart from thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, you know, drop that like, hit the subscribe button, do all that cool stuff that other YouTubers have told you to do 1,000 times, and share with your friends because like we like viewership and it helps us get our messages out there, whether it's dumb opinions or resources to help people in need. So yeah, we'll catch you next time. Who knows when it'll be? Hopefully Wednesday. Until then, stay safe, be kind, peace and love.